What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another video for New Biology Clinic. I wanted to take a little bit of time. I know I've talked about this in the past, but really diving into something that I continue to see within the fitness space and everything else, and everyone's let's just say healing journey is that there's a constant bickering that happens where it's going, this modality of training is the right way. And then you're going to get a bunch of people who feel that they've learned and earned and grown something valuable from it, whether it's a healing response, whether it's just an overall better life, being able to live out a life that they've always wanted, or it just makes them feel better and they move in certain ways that are for them exactly what they want. And there's going to be people that start there and then maybe get injured and then they go, okay, this was a terrible healing modality, or I thought this was good, but now I'm over in this camp. And then you're going to see arguments happening of going, they have the right way, they're the wrong way. And then you're going to get people over here who have the same thing. This really healed me, this fixed me. And then you'll get people say, this actually caused me injury, and this is the right way. And what we're obviously all trying to do in many ways is find what's going to help us and get through our things. And this is why you see people even like myself. You start in this camp, and then you go here, and then you go here, and then you go here, and it's then going, no, 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 my way's the right way. Our way's the right way. And the problem with that is if you follow that strand, you're going to see there's so many crossovers where there's people who are over here that will talk poorly about where they were or this side. And they'll say, well, a bunch of your people over here came over here and a bunch of our people over here went here. So when you kind of look at it that way, everybody's just trying to explore and find what works for them. And in some cases, certain things work better than others. And I bring all this up because it's then bringing the question of going, well, okay, well, what's actually going to heal us? Is there something we're missing? Is there something within this piece of the puzzle that really needs attention that we're maybe not addressing? And this is why some modalities work well with others, some work better over here. People shift and move, and it's just, what is the missing piece here? And I'm not saying I have all the answers, but I will say that I do tend to notice that what we're looking at is it's going, you need to fit into this mold that I've created. You need to be able to move your body into this mold that I'm asking you to fit in. And I find myself doing it too. So I'm not taking myself out of this equation. But one of the pieces that I try to put a lot of emphasis in is going, can I get your body? Can we get you to maybe move in this direction? And not necessarily forcing it, but can we ask the body to be curious about moving in that direction? And then the key thing here is, what are you feeling? What are you experiencing? What is your body giving back to you? What is the communication that we are experiencing? And not just pain or lack of pain, but is there anything coming up? Is there any memories? Is there any experiences? Is there any sort of emotion? Is there any sort of thought? Is there any sort of idea, creativity? Like, is there anything coming up in that experience? And people will go, well, I'm just here to train, or I want to get better. But this is the piece of it that I think is so overlooked is going, I could put two people through the same exact movement. They could have two different experiences. What does that mean? Where they feel it, how much tension they have, the amount of, how long they can go, their endurance, their stamina, but also what's going on internally, mentally, emotionally, physically, and obviously spiritually. Are people having revelations? Are people having memories of things that, again, come up in the past? And I know I've talked about this before with many people, especially at the clinic. And if we can't see that that part plays a critical role in our healing, then what we're tending to do is, again, it's just going, yeah, 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 my way of doing things is the right way. This is the mechanics of the body. You're just a machine, but you're not just a machine. We're not just machines. We're something way bigger than that. Whether you want to believe it or not. And yes, there are certain things that the body will do and can do, and there are certain designs of the body, absolutely. But it's also understanding that we are more than just a machine, is that with movement, with healing, obviously it's more than just one piece of the puzzle in regards to the physicality. It's the emotional. It's the, again, spiritual. It's the being able to not ignore so many other pieces that will come through as you start to do movement and train. Because what is also training doing is it's training, when you push your limits, you're starting to know how to be more in touch with self, go inward for many people. You learn how to navigate your problems. I don't follow closely, but David Goggins will say, he mentioned something, and maybe I'm paraphrasing or a little bit off, but he was saying, when I do these 100-mile runs or whatever it is, I'm able to handle most of my internal world in that run than over a 10-year span, essentially, because what you're doing under those stresses, under those movements, is you're not just moving the physical body, you're moving the etheric body, the emotional body, you're moving all of this to get some resolution, to get some again, clarity on maybe something that your body's holding on to, things that we haven't been able to fully grasp on. So if that is you and you find yourself when you're training, you get in your head or your thoughts start running or you start thinking about things that you haven't thought about in a while, you start feeling an emotion coming up. We can't ignore that. And this is just my take, and I could be wrong, but this is why I do think it's like we move so many camps in regards to over our time of healing. And this is why people say, I've done all the modalities. And some people go, I can't find anything that works for me. Or some people will say, I've done this one and it worked for me for a long time. And now it doesn't, it's not feasible in the sense of it doesn't do what it once did. And then it's then going, well, is there something wrong with that? Maybe, but maybe not. There are certain people that will lift heavy weights and they think it's the best thing and they feel good doing it. And again, who am I to say they're wrong? I mean, I have my opinions, but I could be wrong. It's just my opinion. I understand that the body works in a certain way. There's certain things I do with people that work well and things that don't work with others. That's just the honest truth. So I have to be adaptable, but part of that adaptation from a trainer standpoint is, again, not overlooking this key piece is there are emotional relationships that come with movement and things start to unlock themselves. And this is why if we can, as professionals, but also individuals listening to this, grow on your healing journey, if you start to recognize, hey, I'm doing this thing, I really enjoy it, but everyone's telling me it's bad, but yet I feel it's really good. And there's certain things that are coming up that I need to address. And or maybe it's interesting that these thoughts and feelings are coming through as I'm doing this. Let me let me not overlook that piece. Because maybe they're within this modality that one of us might be in. That's the underlying key to why you're there, what you need to learn from there. Maybe that's what's opening up those channels for your body to go, hey, now that you're moving us in this way, let's address this. Let's dive into this. Let's actually heal. And this is why you can see people who are avid trainers who train, but they're always getting hurt or they're always, not listening to their body. And you can see that the training or the exercise rather is going against what we're really trying to do is to get better and heal. Those go, oh, this is just part of the training. Is it though? I mean, not saying that accidents don't happen, things don't happen, but is it really part of the training? Or are we supposed to learn something and we're just ignoring it? We're disassociating. We're not dealing with those feelings, those thoughts, those ideas that are coming up as we're under those physical stresses. And this is why someone will say, oh, that camp, that modality, it's bad, 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 bad. But you'll get a ton of people saying, no, I love it. I've learned so much about myself. And so it's going, did those individuals really take something and were able to, let themselves explore it knowingly or unknowingly, consciously or unconsciously, where other people, they need to go find it somewhere else. And going, oh, this is the solution. It's going, no, 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 no. Maybe, just maybe, it's in this modality where you were moving your body and training in a way that allowed you to safely and effectively explore your internal world. Because that, at the end of the day, is what most of us are doing when we go and train. Yes, it's about feeling good. Yes, it's about trying to feel healthy, but we have to understand what health is, what feeling good is. If I'm always in pain, and I'm not able to deal with my internal world, people will say training is not good. It's not, I don't feel good. right? Some people will say, hey, training is too much for me. And I've worked with people where that once we start adding those stresses, so many thoughts and feelings start coming in and they panic. And it's not because of the training modality. Sometimes it's as simple as I'm asking somebody to sit up and sit down and stand up. And the idea of them creating this training to do that is causing stress. But yet I'll just say, hey, can you go sit down over there? This isn't the training. Just can you go sit down? And they'll sit down, stand up without any problems. But it's this idea of needing to deliver or, they need to do well. Like that causes people to stress. So there has to be ways where we have to explore this. What are the feelings, these emotions that come with these different training modalities? Because that in itself is where, in my opinion, the glue or the silver cord that it aligns and attaches all these different ways of moving, they all come together. So I hope that makes sense. I hope as you're getting on your healing journey, you're training, you're trying to find what works for you. Ask yourself as you're exploring these different modalities, are feelings and emotions coming up? Are you finding yourself wanting to disassociate? Are you feeling that you can connect with it? Do you feel that you need to hold your breath or can you connect with your breath? Are there things that mind starts to wander, or is it a situation where you start thinking about very specific things? You're like, wow, why is that coming in? You might just be on the right path. If you go, hey, I want to go back to that thing, I want to try it again, that's another great way to move. If you're like, hey, I feel I notice my body, I'm more in my body when I train this way. Okay, great. Let yourself explore those things, always making sure you're going to follow your intuition, what feels good for you. Some people don't always have that strong connection with their intuition. So this is why I say start small, start little by little. Make sure we're finding those three tensions. What's my intention? Where's my attention? How much tension am I giving it? And see if you can start to navigate, again, your training with this heightened awareness of self, emotions, not running from things. So give it a go. Hope this makes sense. And on that, I hope to see you all at newbiologyclinic.com, where we'll be talking more about all these different concepts, all these different pieces to health and wellness. There's a lot of different, enrichment services we provide as well. So I'll see you all there. Have a wonderful day. Talk to you next time.